This is Earth Z. It is part of the New 52. And what the New 52 is, it was this really short-sighted and selfish and egomaniacal thing that DC did, where they just decided to reset all their comics and all their characters. Nobody really likes the New 52, and the parts of it that people do like, stuff like Batman, well, that can be enjoyed independent from the whole reset. Like, those Batman stories, it could just be Batman before the New 52. And this is Earth Z, and what this is, well, do you know the Justice Society of Superheroes? A lot of people like them, those characters. Well, they decided in the New 52, let's not do the Justice Society of Superheroes. Let's instead reinvent and revamp all the characters in Earth Z. So all the characters that you know from the Justice Society of Superheroes, they're now young and trendy and all messed up. And let's just get into this. We open up, this is the origin of Green Lanterns, John Scott, my favourite Green Lanterns. And he has just been in a train crash and he's badly hurt, like he's burned one side of his body. And he's looking for his boyfriend. And I bet you didn't think my favourite Green Lanterns would have a boyfriend. And then this green light shows up and it starts saying stuff like, John Scott, you are the one. I am fire and light and energy and all the power of the earth. This is real, John Scott. I am real. Let me prove it. Let me take away the pain and begin to mend your body. And he cures John Scott of all his injuries. And then he starts banging on some more. I am the embodiment of the earth's energy. In truly dark times, a champion is chosen. I would pass that power to you to fight this coming danger and all other evils abroad for that matter. You must stand, John Scott, as the Earth's new defender. And this opening scene is alright. It's a good little origin piece for, well, my favourite Green Lanterns, or rather a weird version of my favourite Green Lanterns. And then it's all pretty much downhill from there. We've got the Flash here. This is my favourite Flash as well. Except they have taken away his funny hat and they've given him this really rubbish helmet. And this is Hawking Girl. And normally I like Hawking Girl. But this version is terrible. She's so annoying. She's insufferable. And one of the things I like about this version of the Flash is that he's meant to be quite old. He's meant to be experienced and really wise. But this one, he's like a teenager who doesn't really understand his powers and he can't really control them. So he has a fight with Hawking Girl, and Hawking Girl is really annoying. And then we get back to Green Lanterns. And this is where Green Lanterns gets his costume, and this is a new design and I'm kind of in two minds about it. On one hand, I think that is good that it is in line with the other Green Lanterns' costumes. But on the other hand, I think it is bad because it strips John Scott of any unique design or iconic symbolism. This could just be any Green Lanterns. If you cover his hair, that could be Jordan Halbert or Gary Gardner or Kyle Reese. And then we've got this little subplot going on where something is going around and it's killing all of nature. And there's an advert for Batman Earth 1. Avoid this book, it's awful. And I don't like this either. They start really messing with the mythology of Green Lanterns, right? He was going to propose to his boyfriend, and the light says that he needs some sort of an object to house all the power and all the energy. So he just whips out the engagement ring and goes, well, how about this? And that's well, why do all the Green Lanterns just have rings? It's not just this is convenient. Is this meant to be the origin of why all Green Lanterns have rings? Because one of them had an engagement ring. And I just really don't like this. And then we've got some more stuff with this, and I don't like this either. It is, but we do get to see John Scott pick up a train. That bit's good. But this thing, right? It is taken Solomon Grundy, and look, there's Scott Snyder there. He just looks like a normal bloke, doesn't he? If you asked a child to draw a man, Like, they would probably just draw Scott Snyder. He's kind of that generic. And what they're doing is they're revamping Solomon Grundy, and they're basically just making him a really rubbish, evil version of Man-Thing. And that's just not very exciting. And there we've got all the new 52 ones there. Which ones did I read? I read Captain Marvel's, the real one, Billy Batson, it was alright. I read Aquaman, didn't read Wonder Woman, didn't read Flash. I don't think I got that far with Stephen Hawkman, because I didn't really like it. Arrow, didn't read that. That's Earth Z, didn't read that, because as this issue shows, it's not very good. That is Mockingbird, Chelsea Kane, and Miss Marbles, but I didn't even know this book existed. Superboy, didn't read that. Dead Boy, but he's not there, didn't read that. Captain Adamant, didn't know he had a book, I might read that one. That is Firelord, and if you look closely, that is by Evan Cyphers and Gail Simon. What a wacky pair. Didn't read that. That is Superman by Van Morrison. I want to read that. That's Superman again. Didn't read it. Supergirl. Didn't read it. Justice League Dark. I read that one. Dial H. Never even heard of that. Animal Man. I don't think I read that one. I got confused like 2 issues in. Man Thing. Didn't read. Frankenstein's. Didn't read. I, Dracula. No thanks. No Draculas for me. Can't make out what that is, didn't read it. That's Gargoyle there, I didn't read that. Pantsless Stranger, I did read that, it was alright. That is a long word that I can't read, didn't read that. Blue Beetles, didn't read that. The Ravagas, didn't read that. Tiny Titans, didn't read that. So, really, from this, when I say the new 52 was rubbish, I'm really speaking from experience, aren't I? Because I barely read any of them. This comic, it's just annoying, really. Like, the Justice Society of Superheroes, it is a viable thing, but I will admit it is a niche prospect. But the thing is, people like it, and I would put it on the same level as Thunderballs or Excellent Factor, with good writing and good ideas and a decent push from DC. The Justice Society of Superheroes, it can work. It can sell well enough to survive. And actually, I think Earth Z lasted quite a while. But it was mainly just because it was a really limp consolation prize to people who do like the Justice Society of Superheroes. I don't recommend this comic. I mean, it's just got some weird, bad ideas, and what little quality there is, I like the art, and there's some of the stuff, I like seeing this Green Lanterns, and even, you know what, I don't mind seeing a different version of this Green Lanterns, but it's just not very good. I'm only going to have to rate this comic quite low. It's going to be 7 thumbs up.